you like weird facts, 1752 is the weirdest year we've had. Everyone went to bed, I think, September the 1st, and when they woke up, it was September the 14th. Yeah. And he slept for one night. That year we went from the Julian to the Gregorian calendar. We were getting out of sync with France and all the other countries, you see. So, I think they changed. Pay the same amount of tax, even though the year had been shorter. So the following year, they allowed you an extra about 2 weeks. That's why your tax year is start of April. You see? Combine the two facts, the March one, March New Year, and that little one. Now here we go, folks. Now Big Ben has got a brother. There is another famous bell halfway around the world. America's famous bell over in Philadelphia, the Liberty Bell. Yeah, both of them were cast in London at the Whitechapel Bell Band in East London. The part of Parliament now closer to us with the expansive roof and plainer stonework, that's a lot older than the rest of Parliament. What's a bit closer to you now is Westminster Hall, and is mainly 11th century. Final part of the Royal Palace which eventually burnt to the ground. There's 2 churches in the square, not just the Abbey. The small one on your left now is St Margaret's, that's the church for Parliament, free to enter, by the way. But pay for the Abbey, it's worth it, but the smaller one is free. And in Westminster Abbey, over 3,000 people are buried inside. I don't mean that churchyard, I mean inside. There's a Handel, Purcell, Darwin, Dickens, Chaucer, Isaac Newton. They just really died, actually. Most monarchs also were buried there. A few notable exceptions. Let's say Henry VIII, no Henry VIII. He's buried at Windsor. He wants to be buried with his 3rd wife, not with his 6th wife. You kind of feel sorry for wife number 6. Admittedly, she wasn't executed, so she was doing okay, but you can imagine him on his deathbed. It's like, whatever happens, don't bury me where you're going to be buried. The 3rd one was much nicer. Oh, and Richard III is another good example of one not buried there, because we buried him under a car park. Here's our next stop. Underneath this building on your left is Sir Winston Churchill's bunker system from the Second World War, called the Cabinet War Rooms, and you can visit it. The building itself is the Treasury building, the Treasury. Of course, with it being the budget only a few days ago, they're all busy inside the Treasury now. They're like, he promised what? Oh, right, we need to get some money from somewhere anyway. Spin on the books, spin on the books. I know it's an election. Anyway, left hand side now is going to be the Foreign Office. Government Ministries of State, of course. On your right will be the Cenotaph, Nation's War Memorial, where the Queen comes in November to lay a wreath. But then, look, here we go, Downing Street. So you've got to be quick to see the front door. So cameras to your left now, eyes to your left now, black gates at the entrance to Downing Street. You've got literally a 1.5 seconds of view. Here we go. So look at photograph, look at photograph, look at photograph. Number 10, I think of it like the TARDIS. It looks very small from the outside, but it's very big inside. It's got over 200 rooms. See, number 10 Downing Street is 3 buildings all connected. You see the front door? It's only building number 1 at the front. In the home of our Prime Minister since our first one, Robert Walpole, 18th century. He was given it as a gift by the King at the time, George VI. Ministry of Defence, right hand side. Cabinet Office, left hand side. Welsh Office, brick building, right hand side. And the Scotland Office with a column to head to your left. So head on for this stop, by the way. All scarves. I think we're good, Aggie. We're all good, mate. Alright, we're going to see some Royal Guards, folks. Head to our left. Now, in Henry VIII's time, Royal London stood on this very street, but can you guess what happened? It burnt to the ground. So when that palace burnt to the ground in 1698 and the royals moved, they moved to the other side of the buildings we have on our left-hand side. So since then, the entrance has been guarded. So we've got 2 members of the Lifeguard Regiment that head to your left-hand side. Beyond that, you get to Horse Guards Parade, St James's Park, then eventually Buckingham Palace itself. The guards sail their horseback until 4 o'clock. Then they do a small ceremony and finish their day. At least for the horses they finish. The reason they do the ceremony is because Queen Victoria was coming down this ferry road. She went to check on the horse guards and they were drunk. Sat on the curb, bottle of beer in each hand, no guarding was going on. So since then, every day at 4 o'clock, the ceremony they do effectively is a 19th century breathalyzer test, proving their superior officer that they've not been drinking. Real troops, by the way. I know they're looking a bit funny on horseback. We still use cavalry regiments at the start of the First World War. Turns out horses aren't very good at trench warfare. So instead they now take regiments instead. Alright folks, let me tell you about the next 2 stops. So our next one is going to be Trafalgar Square itself. After Trafalgar Square we go left of the square out Piccadilly Circus, which is like, I don't know, it's like Times Square, if you will. But when we get there, so 2 stops time, when we get there, you will lose Little Old Me. The reason being is that I started there 2 hours ago, so... I'll be replaced, it'll be okay, you'll be right. Right, let's plan some fun stuff. Right, now ahead to your right, you'll find a pub, the Silver Cross. It is a pub, but it has a licence to be a brothel. It was given to them by Charles I in the 17th century. Those brothels are now illegal, but they've still got their special licence. I do have to say, it is just a pub. It's just a pub, nevertheless. Now up ahead to Trafalgar Square. It is worth bearing in mind the major museums and galleries in London are free to enter. So we've got the National Gallery directly ahead of us. If any of you are in the square for at least 5 minutes, you may as well pop into the National Gallery. Even if you think you're not an art fan, so it's not cost you any money. Because you bang off sunflowers, or it's Titian, or Rembrandt, or Leonardo da Vinci. So nothing else you know anything about art. It's the paintings that you just know already. It's common knowledge, you know, general knowledge. You're not bang off sunflowers this way. If any of you like Shrek, the statue up ahead of us, that's Charles I. You're going to check out the face of the statue, because the character of Lord Farquhar was based on it. Poor old Charles, the way that his statue is facing, towards us and down the road, he's actually looking to where he was executed. We were a republic for 11 years, basically, 1649 to 1660. Oliver Cromwell was a judge, Puritan, when he died, he married in Westminster Abbey. And then Charles II, father of Oliver Cromwell, he was Oliver died, they executed one quarter of 2 years after he died. And as you left through the arches, Buckingham Palace, near the that road, with all their later on the place. You'll see about it later. And on top of his column, of course, Admiral Horatio Nelson, leader of the British Navy in the Battle of Trafalgar, 1805. Trafalgar Square's not finished. We're not done yet. We're going to see a statue of an undead horse. It's the head to your right. That's on the 4th plinth. We ran out of money in the 19th century. It's not quite done. So every year we've had a 10th bit of bargain instead. It's round the room. It's kind of the house to the right and the Canadian High Commission. But here's your Trafalgar Square stop. So the one after this is going to be the, well, you can buy your own lunch for sure, but it's going to be your best one, I think. Yeah, we'll all go from the top, Aggie. We'll all go to the top. Now what is also going to happen at the next stop is that the tour does pause on the next one. To allow us to get our buses out every 15 minutes, the next stop is kind of where we end the inverted commas, but it's where the next tour starts. So it leaves every 15 minutes on the dot from the next stop. So then if you are leaving the bus, you're going to have Leicester Square, you're going to have all the shopping on Regent Street, you can change to the Blue Route, so our next stop as well, just around the corner from it. Chinatown is going to be there too, if you have an M-Store, all these sorts of things. Just come back to the same stop, and the bus will definitely be leaving every 15 minutes, using that a little bit. The first set of rules for boxing, well, we still have those rules. There was a rule saying that you weren't allowed to have giant springs on the bottom of your boots. That meant someone must have done that. Well, there's no rule against it, is there? Boring. Right, now there's a bus at our next bus stop waiting to leave, so we're going to have to go a little bit slow, waiting for that to shift. Then we'll park up. The statue's on your right hand side though. Here comes Florence Nightingale again, everyone. It's the lady with the lamp. The largest statue to your right hand side, that's for the Crimean War. In fact, it says Crimea on it, so I do wonder if we ever have it's from Russia or the Ukraine, you see that and go, oh, the Brits, they built that very quickly, it was only last year. If you look behind you, the Grand Old Duke of York is behind us now at the top of his column. Brother of King George IV. Now the Georgians, the Georgians, absolutely hopeless, absolutely hopeless. George I was actually 52nd in line to the throne, but all the other cousins of Queen Mary who passed on, all the cousins were actually all Catholic. They know nowhere at the time. So they spoke a word of English, first one. George II was just never here, he was always fighting in battle. George III went mad and lost the colonies. George IV just ate and drank really, he chased women. And then one of his brothers, the Grand Old Duke of York, was one of the worst generals we've ever had. This idea of exercising the troops is from climbing to the top of the hill before the battle to exercise them. They were too tired to do things like winning battles into the nursery rhyme. So we'll wait here just for a couple of minutes and then we'll get to that next bus stop. This next road on your left, that's Regent Street. There you're going to find Emily's the toy shop, the oldest toy shop in the world, and one of the largest in Europe. Shopping London begins on Regent Street, and it leads to Oxford Street. So next stop, goes to shopping. Behind the electoral advertisements is an area called Soho. London Soho is a lot older than New York Soho. London's one, the name comes from an old hunting cry. So before this was built on, this was hunting grounds. But around Soho tonight, it still is a hunting ground of sorts. But we would have gone Tally-Ho or Soho. That's another. That's it. Right, now up ahead of us, directly ahead, well, you see the bus leaving, that's leaving us a little parking space. But ahead of that is Leicester Square. If you carry on in that direction, then you get to Covent Garden. It's easy, isn't it? Alright, so this bus, this physical bus, will leave off at past by the looks of things, past. You know, then 2:45, then on the hour, then 2:15, then